JBNN will keep you informed. I'm Michelle Jones. Before we get into the news, please remember to like, subscribe, leave a comment, and to share the news with someone today. Now on to the news. Man and bicycle gunned down on Salt Pond Road. A 54-year-old man was tragically shot and killed while riding his bicycle along the Salt Pond Road in Spanish Town, St. Catherine, early Tuesday morning. The deceased has been identified as Dennis Stewart, a resident of Spanish Town. According to reports, at approximately 5:45 a.m., nearby residents heard explosions near a property along the roadway. The police were immediately notified, and upon arrival, they discovered Stewart suffering from gunshot wounds to his upper body. Stewart was transported to the Spanish Town Hospital, where he was pronounced dead. Authorities have not yet identified a motive for the killing. The Spanish Town Criminal Investigations Branch is leading the probe into the incident. Man linked to ski mask gang killed in shootout with police in Trelawney. Gawain Campbell, a 29-year-old alleged gangster, was killed by the police in a reported shootout in Bunkers Hill, Trelawney on Tuesday. Superintendent Winston Milton said that the incident occurred as a police team from Area 1 was searching for wanted men in the area. On the approach of a home, Campbell opened fire at the police. The police took evasive action and fired back, he said. Campbell, who was from Lilliput, St. James, was later found with gunshot wounds, allegedly clutching an illegal .45 pistol. Milton said Campbell, linked to the ski mask gang, had recently completed a prison sentence for illegal firearm possession. The police had a warning for wanted men. Would rather you fight us in court rather than fighting with us on the street. The policeman had a warning for wanted men. Would rather you fight us in court rather than fighting with us on the street. Man electrocuted after touching zinc in Westmoreland. A 24-year-old man died after he was reportedly electrocuted in Westmoreland on Tuesday, the police say. The deceased has been identified as Tajay Williams, a laborer from Thompson Lane, Withorn in the parish. The police report that, at approximately 2:30 p.m., Williams was on the premises when he touched a piece of zinc that had become entangled with electrical wires. The Withorn police are probing the matter. Man charged in connection with armed robbery near Tarrant High School. The police have arrested and charged a man in connection with the robbery of several individuals near Tarrant High School in St. Angela last Saturday. The accused has been identified as 29-year-old Dwayne Barrett, a spray painter from Jackson Road, Kingston 10. Barrett is now facing charges of robbery with aggravation following the incident, which took place on Saturday, October 19. According to police reports, a group of friends was walking along the roadway when they were ambushed by a group of men armed with machetes, knives, and scissors. The attackers reportedly robbed the group of their belongings before attempting to flee the scene. However, quick police response led to the interception of Barrett, who was pointed out by one of the victims as a participant in the robbery. He was arrested and taken into custody. Barrett was officially charged after a question and answer session on Monday, October 21, in the presence of his attorney. His court date is currently being finalized. The police are continuing their investigations to locate the other suspects involved in the robbery. DJ Quick Cook refutes his police's report surrounding his father's death. Dancehall artist Quick Cook is mourning the death of his father Michael Lumley, otherwise called Idol, who was shot and killed by unknown assailants in St. Mary on Monday night. Lumley was 61 years old. The man celebrating birthday upon Sunday and him killing upon Heroes Day, a grief-stricken Quick Cook said. This tragic. But overseas and get the news and the whole of my family shake up. My father is a real hero. Him dead the day after him birthday upon Heroes Day. He was a hero to me, my brothers and sisters, and the whole community. He was a loving and caring legend to all in his community. The elder Lumley passed away, leaving 6 children, 4 boys and 2 girls. He would die for his children, were the apple of his eye. He was very clean, neat, and organized. He was a very hard worker. You could call him a serial entrepreneur. He was a giver. He would give his last to make anyone he cared for to make them happy. I'm just asking my fans and my colleagues to pray for my family right now in this dark time, Quick Cook added. The incident took place around 7:15 p.m. while the deceased was reportedly sitting in his yard. It is alleged that a silver Toyota Axle motor car stopped at the gate. 2 men alighted from the vehicle, entered the yard and approached Lumley. The gunman then reportedly opened fire, hitting him in his left shoulder before escaping in the waiting motor car. Lumley was taken to the Onotobi Hospital, where he was pronounced dead. No one else was injured in the attack. Meanwhile, Lumley's family is refuting reports that his murder was gang-related. In the wake of this devastating loss, we are disturbed by the false narrative that has been publicly circulated by the authorities, claiming that his death was a result of gang violence and that he was visiting his girlfriend. Michael was killed in his home. This misinformation is not only deeply hurtful to her family, but also a grave injustice to the legacy of a man who spent his life fostering unity and peace, the family said in a release. We categorically refute these claims and call for a speedy, transparent, and thorough investigation into the circumstances surrounding his murder. We believe that only the truth can honor the memory of a man who stood for integrity, justice, and the betterment of his community, the Lumley said. The family added that Michael was a man of peace, and it is only right that his death is investigated with the seriousness and the diligence it deserves. St. Elizabeth woman freed of murder charge after no case submission. A woman who was charged with murder in relation to an incident in November last year was freed when she appeared in the St. Elizabeth Parish Court in Santa Cruz. Shanika McKellier, 34, of Shrewsbury District in the parish, was freed of the offense on October 18 after the court found that she did not have a case to answer. She was accused of fatally stabbing 53-year-old Oren Braham of Sandy Ground, St. Elizabeth. Following a no-case submission by McKellier's attorney Thomas Levine, the prosecution conceded that she acted in self-defense, which was upheld by the presiding judge, Alwyn Smith. It was reported that, on the morning of November 14, 2023, McKellier and Braham were involved in an altercation. Both persons then went to the Black River police station to file reports. They were counseled and told to maintain the peace. After leaving the police station, McKellier boarded a taxi, but was again attacked by Braham, who hit her in the face and chest. During the attack, McKellier used a knife to stab Braham. He died while being treated. McKellier was subsequently taken into custody and charged with murder. Man loses appeal to recover $1.2 million. Karen Clark, a man who arrived in Jamaica from the United States in 2018 with approximately $1.2 million, has lost his appeal to recover the seized funds. The Court of Appeal recently upheld the parish court's ruling that the money, which was confiscated due to uncertainties about its source and intended use, should remain forfeited by the Crown. Clark, who had claimed that the funds were intended for his son's funeral, was found carrying $4,000 on his person, and the remainder found in an envelope in his jeans pants and his luggage upon his arrival at the Sangsu International Airport on November 30, 2018. It was also found with 2 bank cards, one of which was verified by a woman who is believed to be his wife, while a friend, whom he had called to confirm ownership of the other card, denied being the owner. During subsequent questioning by customs officers, it was revealed that Clark, who had earlier given his deceased aunt's name as Vera Bell, was uncertain about his aunt's correct name. Based on the doubts surrounding the intended purpose and source of the funds, as well as the ownership of the bank card, the money was seized for Clark to provide further proof that they came from a legitimate source and were destined to be used for a legitimate purpose. However, according to the judgment, the judge in granting the request made by customs, among other things, took into consideration the method by which the cash was being transported, the Clark had a bank card for which he could not properly account, and his conflicting explanations as to the source of the intended use of the seized cash. The parish judge also highlighted among the inconsistencies unearthed during the hearing that Clark had informed customs. The parish judge also highlighted among the inconsistencies unearthed during the hearing that Clark had informed customs officers that the cash was for the repayment of a loan that his family had obtained and used to pay for his aunt's funeral, although he had stated that the funeral was postponed on the account of the cash being seized. Clark had also contended that he was close to the deceased, yet he told at least one customs officer that he did not know her name and had also referred to her in his evidence by 8 different names, the judgment revealed. Additionally, the taxi driver who had picked him up from the airport, who he said was the son of the deceased, had denied any knowledge of any funeral or of the appellant's affairs. After the investigation, the St. James Parish Court ruled in January 2020 that the funds should be forfeited. Clark's appeal, which challenged the parish judge's decision on several grounds, was dismissed as wholly unmeritorious by the Court of Appeal. Police report no major injuries in Spanish Town bypass motor vehicle collision. Head of the Jamaica Constabulary Forces Public Safety and the Traffic Enforcement Branch, PSTAB, Assistant Commissioner Gary McKenzie, says there were no major injuries reported following Tuesday's motor vehicle collision at the intersection of the Spanish Town bypass and the Port Henderson Road in St. Catherine.
A truck trailer was traveling along the Spanish Town bypass heading to Kingston, while at the same time a pickup truck, which is assigned to the Jamaica Constabulary Force, was traveling along Port Henderson Road towards the Spanish Town bypass. This intersection is controlled by a traffic light. However, both vehicles collided in the intersection. As a result of the collision, the pickup truck was displaced and collided with three other vehicles. Fortunately, there are no very serious injuries, but one of the persons was traveling in a Subaru motor car that was a part of the crash had to be rushed to the Spanish Town Hospital. It is not known which of the vehicles disobeyed the traffic lights. That is the subject of an investigation. Motorists are asked to be very careful because the signal that controls traffic there was hit and a section of it is hanging in the roadway. That intersection is not very lighted at the moment, and so we are asking for extreme care. Work is being done on the Nelson Mandela Highway in the vicinity of the National Housing Trust building that is in the region of Central Village, and that has slowed down traffic considerably, stretching back toward Caymanas. And so we know that road work is a necessity. However, at this particular time, during the peak hour, it is posing some challenges. And so we ask that persons are quite patient and that they do not involve themselves with careless and dangerous driving, because crashes will only compound the situation and make matters worse.
JBN will keep you informed. Please remember to subscribe, like, share, leave us a comment, and click the notification bell to receive our daily news items.